Alright, looks like it's a new stream, it's a new... check this out. Now we have like donation links and stuff. Isn't this great? Alright, so apparently we're gonna have something a little bit different right now. We're not gonna be uploading, we're gonna be drafting some M19. Because Ron is about to donate for it. He just wanted to see some M19 drafts happening today, and we got him, you know. I got his back. If he wants to see M19 drafts, he will see M19 drafts. Okay, I just want to make sure that Ron is on the chat before we start with this. But yeah, as soon as he gets here. I assume we're gonna do an intermediate because I want to make sure that we play all of our matches. The competitive ones is single elimination, so since he's donating for it, I would like to at least give him his money's worth. But yeah, as soon as he gets here, we're gonna get started. So Ron, please let me know whenever you get here, and we'll get going. Okay. In the meantime, we'll talk some more Amulet while Ron finds his place. The list felt super sweet. I kind of wanna find a spot for a third spell pierce. Like we saw against a match, I think it was match 3. We played against Infect. And Spell Pierce was insane in that matchup. It basically won both games. Just single-handedly, because my opponent was forced into an awkward spot, and then we were able to punish them severely by like spell piercing their stuff. Oh, okay. Alright, change of plans. Apparently we will not be doing M19 draft. We will be doing something else. So we will be doing Legacy. I want to play some Legacy. Okay, I think I'm gonna be doing Maverick. So sorry for the change. I want to be doing some Maverick, okay? So this is the Maverick list I've been running, and this is what I want to play today. So the only thing is I should probably be running a third surgical, but I just don't own a third surgical, and surgicals are like stupid expensive in Modo. So instead of surgical, I'm drawing a Fairy Macabre. The deck that I'm the most concerned about is Reanimator, Black-Red Reanimator, so that's why I'm running that instead. do I have a cyber guide written out for Amulet? No, I do not. And since like the cyber changes basically like every time I sit on the every time I sit on the computer, the sideboard changes because I am tweaking and changing things and adding cards and testing things. So sideboard guide I don't think would be very worthy of being written. For sure though, what I could basically write like a cyborg guidelines maybe, which is basically kind of what the stream is about, right? That's what we talk about on stream and what we try to what I try to cover when I'm talking. But anyway, so we're gonna be running this list. Of course, if you have questions about Amulet or some other things, you're obviously very welcome to ask. But I've been willing to play some Legacy for a while, so I wanna be doing that. We were going to have an M19 draft, but the sponsor Ron, he apparently he thought that he was going to be available, and he is apparently not going to be. And it doesn't make much sense, to stream when the person that donated for me to stream is not here. So of course I'm not going to do it right now. We will do that some other time. But we're gonna run a Legacy League, see how things go. Amulet Legacy. No, we're not running Amulet Legacy. We're running Maverick. Okay. So, the two decks that I've been running and that I've been pretty happy with. Geez, Orlando is already up to 8 trophies again. That guy is crazy. The two decks that I've been enjoying the most in Legacy are Maverick and Four Quarter Loam, and both of them seem to be reasonably well positioned right now. Yeah, for sure, Ikasi, for sure. Send if you have unfortunately, my computer doesn't have a Word because it's just not an app that I use really at all. So if you have some kind of PDF or something like that you want to send my way, I will check it out, or like a Google Doc or something. Definitely send it my way, and I can give you some thoughts, things that I like, things that I do not like, and yeah, and recommendations. Okay, so here we go. We won the die roll. We're gonna be on the play, and this is a beautiful, gorgeous Maverick hand. I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to lead on Bird. There are some matchups where I would actually rather lead on Mom, but I think in most matchups I'd rather lead with Bird. So we'll see what happens here. Turn 2 we can Mom plus Library or Mom plus Tig. We'll see what would be best. Ponder. So this could be Storm, this could be Sneak and Show, this could be so many things. My opponent chooses to not shuffle. So if it happens to be Storm, this right here is just game. So I'm going to hedge against it, and I'm going to play that Tig right there. If we manage to untap, I think they literally cannot win. Yep, they are on Storm because they cannot win. Yep. This is Maverick. Okay, so I am suspecting that we're playing against Storm, so I like this. I want Canonists. I want Persecution because it's our only out to empty the Warrens. Ravenous Excavator comes out. Stoneforge is crazy slow. I don't like this. And full all the swords. Maze of Ith out. and we can probably also take out either Jite or Sword. Also, library is pretty slow. It's like kind of like it's kind of library or tracker, and the fact that tracker can be tutored by with Green Sun Zenith makes me want tracker more. Mom can be pretty bad. Oh, I want Rex Age because of exactly what I was gonna say, because of this guy. Why can't I remember the name? Dread of Night, because of Dread of Night. So I probably can take out one Mom, and this is what we're looking at. This looks pretty good. I'm not so high on the GT. Maybe just the decay is better. We can like destroy LEDs on awkward spots or something like that. Maybe cheese out a win that way. Okay, there we go. Sword is fine though, because Sword really, it actually pressures them pretty hard. This hand looks pretty fine. So this is turn 2 Knight, because we can actually Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor here, and if we draw something that makes that not want to do that, we can actually turn 2 Canonist, which is also pretty insane against Storm. So I'm gonna go get a Savannah, and we'll just Green Sun Zenith for 0. Go get Dryad Arbor. And there we go. My opponent ponders. They also top bottom on their preordain, and they choose to not shuffle with ponder, but now they do shuffle, so I guess they did not like it that much. Best thing that can happen is they push my Dryad Arbor. Yep, that's best possible scenario for us. What that means is that that's one push that it's not gonna go towards my Canonist, and I'm gonna get Scrubland here. Next turn I can Thoughtseize plus probably Zenith for an Over-Hierarch. The only thing that I want to do right now is I want to find some way of actually ramping, because now my Arbor is down. So that's a Mom. That's not a bad draw at all, but I'm going to play this first in case. So with Canonist I can only play one spell. I think I want that spell to be a Thoughtseize. Make sure I can disrupt them in some form, and if they do kill my Canonist in response, I can actually double spell. So this kind of forces the action right here. It's possible my opponent will ADK in response. Yeah, makes sense. So now I get to Thoughtseize, and I get to take Infernal Tutor. So I get to take their Tutor, and I messed up. I should have floated the mana of. That was my bad. That was bad. So I could have. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Tutor here, because Tutor can get more LEDs, more Lotus Petal, and they can start go off. Yeah, that was a punt right there. I messed it up. I should have added the mana, and I wanted to actually go get a Noble Hierarch this turn. That was a mistake. That sucks. Anyway, next turn I can go get Teague and actually have Mom Protection. Wow, they just drew a Brainstorm. That's insane. That's insane for them. So they resolve Brainstorm and they ponder. They ponder, not shuffle. Okay, so they did keep the Flooded Strand. With just 3 cards, I might. I mean, I can possibly be dead here anyway. They have LED. They have Cavalry. Yeah, I think I'm just dead here, right? Yep, I'm dead. Yep, they drew exactly what they needed to draw. So then, I was not punished by drawing Canonist there. By letting the Canonist go there, I mean. Okay, so my opponent chooses to show me their deck. Storm 6, I wonder if they could have just drawn past in Flames. Maybe my opponent's playing around Surgical. Okay, they still have nothing. Still nothing, still nothing. There we go, now they have lethal. Ah, so close. Anything in terms of sideboarding that I should note? Well, they have push, which I definitely expected them to. And that's all they're showing me, just push and Chain of Vapor. Now they're going to Tendrils me for a lot. Wow, we almost escaped there. That was weird. Okay, try again. I think that the way we did things was okay. Again, there was that little misstep that happened there, but I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Do I need to change anything? I don't think I want to against Storm. No. So I'm just gonna run it back. Just gonna run it back. Okay. So we got Thoughtseize, we got Teague, we got... yep, I'll keep this hand. So, we got some interaction and we got Teague. Because of how the hand is shaped up, I think I want to play Mom on turn 1. Basically, because if this Teague is not interacted with, and this Mom untaps, they need 2 removal spells, potentially 3 on the following turn. So I am going to start here. And hopefully I get lucky and they don't have interaction for... Oh, I actually need to change the... Oh, there's a follow. Talaiman, thanks for follow. I actually need to bottom text. Okay. This is deck. Oh, they have Thoughtseize. Legacy, Maverick. And on top we have Legacy. There we go. Okay, so Teague gets Thoughtseize, which is very unfortunate. But on the plus side, we drew a black source, so this turn we can actually play Noble Hierarch plus... I want to get a second green source here, so I'm going to get a Bayou. And I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. See what they got going on over there. Decay does literal nothing. Cavalry Ritual is just a lot of mana. I think I just want to stop their Ponders. Or their... The thing is that... Man, this kind of hands really suck. Because it's just like... Ponder gets them closer to what they have. But this means that, you know... They only need one thing. They just need a payoff. They already have the mana. So I think I'm going to get the Cavalry Ritual here. Maybe it is wrong and I should be taking the Ponder. And I know that my opponent has interaction, so I'm going to hold up Mom here. So, best possible draws. So they Ponder first, that's fine. Best possible draw would probably be Thalia. Because we can like double protect Thalia. Teague is down, so Teague is not relevant anymore. My opponent chose to not shuffle, but then they shuffle with the other thing. They did play their Delta though. Knight would be pretty good. We can start wasting my opponent. My opponent chose to not shuffle. Okay, that's a good draw right there. That is a good draw. Okay, sequencing. We're gonna play Mom first. Then we're gonna play the Canonist. And now we're gonna attack with Noble Hierarch. Okay. If my opponent has like Dread of Night or something like that, then I'm in a lot of trouble. But if they don't, you see, this turn it was already used with that with that brainstorm. I mean, that's funny. And now Canonist is gonna start getting in there, coming in for 3. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay. So this one will start being relevant next turn. Fortunately, I'm 1 mana short of making that thing. I guess they can decay this now, which is fine, whatever. Square Mid, wow. That actually makes sense, yep. Okay, so they decay the sword. That's perfectly fine. That was expected. That's good actually, because that's one card they used and that is not gonna be in their hand for Brainstorm. For like future Brainstorms or stuff like that. So that's pretty good for us. Preordain. This double mom situation, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. This swamp, I doubt it's still in their hand. But you know, I guess. Here I'm gonna hold his hand. I can potentially represent something like Surgical or whatever. And also it's I have trackers in my deck. I mean I have a tracker in my deck. So this value can potentially represent one card that I can draw. Them not doing anything yet. Yeah. This is looking pretty good for us. This is looking pretty good for us. So Adnos is basically no longer an out for my opponent, so they need to like combo me. Wow, and I drew Surgical. That's pretty insane. That's pretty sweet. Okay, now I actually have the Surgical. So all the representing that we did last turn, down the waist. I am like somewhat tempted to Surgical Brainstorm, but I think I'm just going to hold it off. I'm just going to do nothing here. See what my opponent does. They use already 3 pre-order. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have Surgical Brainstorm. Again, each turn that they use to just you know, main phase cantrip makes them, you know, be 2 damage closer to death. Yep, they just conceded. I guess they got Brainstorm block and they died. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like Maverick just wins sometimes. It's so weird. It's a pile of crap that then just wins the match. Okay, we're 1-0. Sweet start to the stream. To the legacy portion of the stream, at least, I should say. Honestly, you're right, Square. I mean, I should have actually cast the Canonist first, so I tell my opponent, yes, I know how the rules work. I know how the rules work, and I know that I can do this. You know. As usual, another beautiful Maverick hand. Hi and good luck. Manamon. So we're playing against Lance. Okay, this matchup is miserable. This matchup is awful. It's so bad. Every time I play this matchup, I lost terribly. I don't think I've ever beat it. Do they have the P-Fire? They have double life from the loam. Riftstone Portal. That's a sweet tech. At least they don't have P-Fire, so there's that. Okay, so I literally cannot pass. They have the turn 1 2020, which they can make again. I don't think this hand I don't think I can beat this hand. I don't think I can beat my opponent's hand. Oh no, Riftstone Portal is in play. It's not in the yard. That was bad. Okay. What's going on? Why are they not loaming? Okay. So I'm going to go to 20 here. My opponent does not have wastelands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Mom here. The reason I'm doing this is because next turn, I mean, I can swords the Merit Lage, which is of course what I'm going to do because I don't want to lose the game. And next turn, Scrib Ranger can block their dude and actually also protect my land, which is pretty sweet. And also, I'm gonna swords it before they. No, it's fine. It's fine. Because I was thinking if they dredge into Punishing Fire, I don't want them to gain the life, so they can. Oh no, that's I'm just speaking nonsense right now. So I'll just swords the Merit Lage. Okay. And now even if they can make Merit Lage again, but Scrib Ranger at least can like block, and Mom can give it protection. So that's why I played Mom last turn instead of Noble Hierarch. My opponent's at 40 now though. That's hilarious. So they are gonna play Loam, and what they're loaming back? Depth, Stage, and Grove. Okay, I imagine that they're just going to put them all into play. 40 turn clock. Yep. Okay, there was God Dethroned. Thanks for the follow. So they discard everything. Yeah. Well, that's not bad actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do this. They cannot Lage this turn. So I am going to activate Scrib Ranger, you know, whatever. But what I want to do is I just want to bounce my dude and just play a Noble Hierarch here. I'm doing this because I really want to start getting my mana online, because I really need to like ooze away all the loams, and they found the P-Fire. Now I'm in trouble. Now I am in trouble. Now this is rough. So they get the P-Fire back, and they have Loam already in hand. So Loam, P-Fire. Okay. Let's see what my opponent does. So there's no creatures, so these ooze cannot really grow. Cannot grow past P-Fire. But I'm going to play it anyway. So I'm going to play ooze. They cannot double P-Fire me though, so that's good. And I know for a fact that they do not have any. They do not have any. So I'm gonna eat one of their loams. They do not have a cycle inland, which is great for me. So I'm going to untap Noble Hierarch. Play my land. And I'm going to pass the turn. I'll see what my opponent does here. We have another answer to a potential Merit Lage. And if my opponent taps out here, I'm gonna put a stop on their upkeep. On their upkeep, I'll eat the life from the loam. So they P-Fire the ooze. I will give it protection from red. From red. Okay. Now I'll eat the P-Fire. And I'll also eat the loam. I'm doing this because now they cannot. Now they cannot. They couldn't make a Merit Lage at end of turn, and they just have a loam plus something else in hand. So they gamble for We'll see what they gamble for. They gamble for another Punishing Fire, which they cannot cast. So that's great for us. Wow, we might actually get there. The best door for them is gonna be Tabernacle. Tabernacle kind of wrecks me here. Whoa! They just conceded. Do they not have Tabernacle? They just conceded the match? Wow. They conceded the match. Okay. I'll take it. Just as I was saying, yeah, this is like the worst matchup that I've played against. I lost it every time I played it, and then we win 1-0. Because, I don't know, maybe my opponent was like tilted or something. But, okay, I'll take it. 2-0. 2-0 with Maverick. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? I just still, every time I see the deck, I am very, very unimpressed. Every time I look at it, it's just like, what is this? But we're 2-0, beating Storm and Lands. I guess that's why you play the games of Magic instead of, you know, conceding before playing them out, huh? Honestly, I've been playing this deck for like 2 months, maybe around that time. I've enjoyed the deck quite a bit. I liked it a lot with when these were actual Deathrite Shamans instead of Noble Hierarchs. I think that the deck was really sweet back then. And honestly, this is just a standard list where all I did was the list was running 4 Deathrite Shamans and 1 Noble Hierarch, and I changed the Noble Hierarch for a bird, and I put 4 4 Hierarchs instead of the 4 Shamans. That's it. So it was not really, you know, the most interesting transition in, you know, for me. It was just like what made sense. And I think since the banning I played like 1 or 2 leagues. I didn't play much since the bannings, but the deck seems to be, you know, it's still a lot of fun. It seems to still be able to win games of Magic, basically. It just gets it done. I'm gonna keep this hand. We can fetch, depending on what my opponent does. We can, well, okay, that's really bad news for us. Really bad news for us. Turn 1, show and tell. Say what? Okay, that's different than what I was expecting. Does that change what I want to do though? I could waste him. But they already have a pack rat in play. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm just very intrigued by what my opponent just did. They must be on like Lone Pox or something. If that's the case, I just want to hope that they do not have like the land Urborg plus. I just want to hope that they don't have Urborg plus Smallpox. The Ancient Tomb is super weird to me though. I don't think I've ever seen Lone Pox running Ancient Tomb. Anyway, next turn I'm going to Scene It for 0, play a Mom, and Wasteland my opponent. Which should put us in a pretty interesting spot, even though my opponent has pack rat. Hopefully they will like spend their okay. Now my Now, my theory does not really work. Karn, sign of Orsa. Okay, my opponent has officially piqued my interest. You can have a Chalice. You can have a Chalice. Maybe I should have given them the second pack rat. I don't know. Okay, does that change things? I mean, it just changes in terms that I'm going to play a second Noble Hierarch instead of playing Synod for 1, I think. I think I still want to Wasteland them. And I think I still want to play Mom. Once Mom comes down, their pack rats are pretty much blanked. Their cards are going to still be annoying. But hopefully your next turn I can like Tracker plus stuff. But yeah, even if my opponent like Chalices on 1, I don't care. I already played all my 1-drops. This could be a 1-drop, but it can also be, you know... Wow, they minus to get the pack rat. Okay. I don't really see the point for that. Oh, okay, so they want to like ramp. Okay, my opponent has something that I don't think I've ever seen before. So they exile the pack rat. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen my opponent's list before. Do they have Deluge or something? No, they just have Chalice. Okay, Chalice on 1 is fine. Deluge would have been a problem. Deluge would have definitely been a problem there. Whoa, they want to trade with my mom? Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, I guess I can attack Karn here. I'm for sure taking 1 rather than trading my mom for that. Saying trading my mom feels kind of weird. Okay, what do we do here? So we got Chaliced, so that's whatever. I was thinking that if they didn't play Chalice, I could Tracker plus Zenith for something else. The way things are, I think I really want to get the Tracker going right now. And if I want to, I can like block and give protection with the Verdant Catacombs. I will probably be Zenithing, is that a word? I will probably be Zenithing for either Knight, considering they are a little bit short on mana, or I will be Zenithing for the flying dude. What's his name? Scrib Ranger. Okay, what does my opponent have here? I think they might actually have Deluge here. If they do have Deluge, then that's rough. We get pushed really far behind. All the time they're spending trying to figure this out makes me think that they do have Deluge. I don't think there's any way we were beating Deluge anyway. Helm of Obedience. Okay. So I guess they have like black ley lines. The creature card or X cards are put into that graveyard this way, which you first. If the creature card is fun to sacrifice and put a card on the battlefield under your control. X can't be 0. Okay. Okay. I'm going to fetch, to thin basically. Not really any other reason. I can't do this end of turn. What I can do though is I can equip. So what can I do here? I can equip Tracker, okay? And I can give him protection. No, because they can still block with the construct. So I think what I want to do is I want to go get... Should I be afraid of this? I have no idea whether I should be afraid of this or not. I don't know what my opponent is doing. Puts cards from the top of their library into their graveyard until a creature card or X cards are put into that graveyard this way, whichever comes first. If a creature card is put into that graveyard this way, sacrifice Helm of Obedience and put that card into the battlefield under your control. So I'm assuming that this deck plays like 4 main deck ley lines and then tries to combo with this. I guess they can steal a knight from me, but they steal a knight and they have a 3/3 that they cannot activate. So this gets double trigger. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just Zenith for 2. Zenith for 2. Go get Script Ranger. Give my tracker protection from black. And I'm going to attack Karn. This forces the construct to chump, basically. Which is the only real way that my opponent can, like, you know, get out of hand. So I'm gonna get a Scrubland, and I'm going to crack a clue. Okay. So I take 4. And now I am going to pass this turn. Actually, I can untap Mom this turn. No, I shouldn't have done that, because that sets me a little bit too far behind if my opponent actually untaps and deluges. I should not have done that. That was bad. That's unfortunate. Too late now. My opponent creates a dude. Okay, so that suggests that they don't have deluge at least. Otherwise the sequencing is kind of weird. Oh, they have a second card, sure. Okay, we're fine though. We're fine, because next turn we can... My opponent minuses, yeah. My opponent minuses, I can... Script Ranger can get in there. With, you know, with a sword, I can actually kill the Karn. Which I believe is what I'm interested in doing. Actually, I don't even need to equip. Just the 2 Hierarch triggers do that for me. Right? I think I can just attack with Script Ranger, kill the Karn, probably play the sword and wait. But yeah, I definitely want to kill the Karn this turn. Noble Hierarch, too strong. So play the sword, and I will not equip. I would just pass the turn, because I think there's more value in cracking a clue at the end of my opponent's turn than actually equipping. Yes, I have Teague, but I don't think Teague does anything on this board, right? I mean, I have no idea what my opponent's doing anyway. My opponent's just playing Turbo Karn. Is that their deck? Just like play Karns and hope it's a gray. Yeah, maybe I should do that. It's just Prime Time is better though. Pride Mage is pretty good there. Whatever shenanigans my opponent is doing, they stop right now. So I attack them for 5, and I kill their pack rat. I missed. I mean, I missed 1 damage there. I guess I don't think it's gonna be relevant. It's still a 2-turn clock, but I could have done this. We'll see. My opponent like activates this end of turn. No, they do nothing. Yeah, that was a mistake though. The Pride Mage there. So what happens if I destroy this in response? What happens if I destroy this in response? I think nothing happens, right? What? What happened there? You think he's supposed to mail me? Is that a modo bug? You'll have to explain to me what that means, Squirmit. Okay, so we're for sure bringing in Abrupt Decay. We're for sure bringing in Reclamation Sage. And I think I'm interested in getting a Lie of Zendikar. Oh, okay. Oh, was there a bird on my opponent's side? I didn't even see. I thought that it was just the 2 contracts and a pack rat. Maze doesn't seem great. It seems like they tend to go wide there. Tig, I literally don't know if it's good. I guess it stops Karn, so I'll leave him in. But I'm still not sure though. I guess I'll take 1 Green Sathinis and 1 Thalia. I mean, they played all spells that game though, so maybe Thalia is actually good. I want to shave on some 1-drops since they are a Chalice deck. Whenever I played against a Chalice deck, I like to shave on some 1-drops. So I think I'm going to cut a mom there. I don't want Canonist, I don't want Mace, I don't want Surgical, I don't want Thoughtseize. Maybe I want Thoughtseize? No, it's a 1-drop. I think I like this, probably more Zenith over the second mom. My opponent seems to be playing mostly colorless. It seems like they are doing some black shenanigans, but it seems like their stuff is mostly colorless. A Leyline would be rough though. Leyline is really far from game over for Maverick or for Cololome or decks like this, but it definitely stops you down quite a bit. You can also have matches like the one we just played, where Leyline would have done absolutely nothing. This is a really rough hand. I think I'm going to keep and be not happy about it. Yeah, my opponent has a Leyline. There we go. So my opponent is for sure playing the Leyline Helm combo. That makes sense. That makes sense. So no zeros. If I draw... Yeah, since I didn't draw anything that's not a Dryad Arbor, I'm going to play Dryad Arbor turn 1. Drawing the Dryad Arbor is so rough. It's just so bad to draw. It's great to have access to because of things like last match where we turn 1 Zenith for Dryad Arbor. So it's like a card that you are kind of forced to have. But whenever you draw it, it just feels so bad. What did my opponent exile? They exiled Liliana. Do they have another Liliana? Wow, they exiled 2 actually good cards. Oh, for an even better card. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is gonna be rough. Now basically our cards do nothing. Okay, you go. At least if they play any creature, like a pack rat or something, we can plow it and feel better about ourselves. That's very interesting though. Like the cards that they exiled. I think I kind of messed up there. No, no, that's fine. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, that's really rough. The good thing is that the moment we draw a freaking black source, we just win on the spot. A green source, we just win on the spot because my opponent basically mulliganed to 2 in order to play Liliana on turn 2 because their mana was so awkward. Chalice on 1. Yeah, that one's fine. I think my opponent didn't activate Liliana. Yep, there you go. Okay, so give me a... Okay. So I need to draw a green source this next turn. This coming turn. If I draw a green source this turn, I think I'm in a really good spot. If I do not, then I'm in a very bad spot. Never mind. Never mind. I'm still in a bad spot. My opponent even chaliced on 1. Yeah, I got this game. I got this game. Yep. Okay, so we lost. We cannot beat a Rihanna emblem. That's rough. That's rough that my opponent... that my only green source was that stupid Dry Diver. If any of these lands would have been a green source, I think it would have been okay. Okay, does this change sideboarding decisions? I'm like even less in love with Mom than I was the previous game. But the thing is, I don't think there's anything relevant that I can get instead. Persecution doesn't do much. Thoughtseize, I guess. Maybe Thoughtseize is better than Mom. Nah, I'm gonna do 1 and 1. I honestly don't know. No idea who Pleasant Kenobi is. Maybe he's a YouTube guy. Who knows? So this is a really punishing hand that I'm going to keep. I'm going to get Scrubland on turn 1 to be able to Thoughtseize my opponent. No Leyline, that's good. But then what might happen is that we end up in the same situation that we were before, where we just like die because we never see a green source. I think we have... the fact that I have Swords and Thalia in hand makes me prefer to go for this. But maybe I'm supposed to get a value there anyway. I think Thalia has a lot of value though. Change of Mephistopheles. Okay, so if a player would draw a card, except the first one they draw in their draw step each turn, that player discards a card instead. If that player discards a card this way, they draw a card. If the player doesn't discard a card this way, they put the top card of the library into their graveyard. Okay. So here, I don't care about any of this. The only one I care about is Liliana, so I'm going to take the Liliana. My opponent's hand looks pretty bad. I don't care about the play. I don't care about the bridge. They play Swamp turn 1. Okay, if we draw a green source, that was a really good draw. So Thalia makes it so everything now costs more, so this is great. Even if they are forced to like play a land, I can then wasteland them and basically just time walk them a little bit. I guess they can play City of Traders this turn. They can play. I was saying that they can play Chains of Mephistopheles if they play the City of Traders. Green source, green source, green source. Destroy a green source right here. A green source here, right here. Green source, please. Green source, green source. or another wasteland. Since I drew yet another wasteland, yes, I'm going to waste my opponents. And we'll just get the Thalia beatdowns going here. Yeah, I'm forever unlucky. I guess I just got so lucky in those top decks with Amulet. Like I think when my opponent just like clicked my pact and I drew in a prime time off the click draw, that was just the culmination of my model luck. And that was it. So my opponent has now 3 unknown cards. Second Swamp. Green Source? Nope, no green source. I just cannot catch a break here, huh? I guess they're going to Plague me next turn. Engineer Plague name Human. To deal with Thalia. Yep. That's a pretty sweet art. There's no need to wasteland my opponent right now. I will probably wasteland them anyway on my turn, but we can see what we draw first. Yes! Yes! Now the knight comes out to play. Get out of here, City of Traitors. And our hand looks pretty good. We have an answer to the Ensaren Bridge already. The change Mephistopheles we don't really care about, and him to Torak. Okay, I'm gonna keep my swords. You'll see. Okay, Rex Sage. That's fine. Okay, Lotus Petal is fine. Okay, what do we draw here? Windswept Heath. Okay. Options. I can attack with Knight. That's the most straightforward option of them all. I can also go get Horizon Canopy. I can go get Gaia's Cradle. Gaia's Cradle doesn't do much. Maze, of course, I cited it out. I think I'm just going to come in with the Knight, which will kind of force my opponent into... I guess they kind of have to play the Ensnaring Bridge, and then I just Rex Sage it. I can even fetch for a Dry Diver for even some extra medium beats. Go get Dry Diver. It doesn't look like my opponent is running any type of... It doesn't look like my opponent is running any type of wasteland shenanigans or anything like that, so that's good for me. So they play Chrome Mox. What are they gonna exile? The Chains? Yep, that makes sense. So Chains down. They do play the bridge, which is great for us, because we're already ready for the bridge, because we are such pros and we did not... So I think this is now lethal, basically. I guess my opponent would need to have exactly land, second bridge, and land, second bridge, and like him, because otherwise this Green Sun Zenith can go get the Casali Primage and that guy, and then blow up a second bridge. So they have a Karn. If this is all that they do, then I'm just going to swing for lethal, I think. I could also Zenith. I could Zenith for Tracker. I honestly think I I think it's just better if I just go for lethal. So Zenith on 2. Go get Kasali Pride Mage. Pride Mage, their only blocker. And swinging for lethal. Alright. 3-0. The medium Maverick bits get there once again. The awesomeness of mediocrity. How did the Titan do? I finished 4-1. We lost the last round against Grixis Death Shadow. My opponent had very, very good draws. It's funny that every single one of our matches was 2-1. We won 4 matches 2-1, and we lost 1 match 2-1. Steve Links. That's a funny name. Instead of Step Links. You guys get it? His name is Steve. So he's the Steve Links. Keep. Gonna go get basic planes here. Play Mom, and then turn to Thalia. So my opponent plays turn 1 Underground Sea. I think I would rather play around Daze than play around Stifle. I can get punished for this, but I don't think Grixis lists are running Stifles as much as they are running Dazes and Wastelands. And fortunately I was correct, so I will play Mom and pass the turn. If this is again against Storm, which might be, then I just need to get lucky and I need to get to untap. If I can slam Thalia and have Mom protection, we should be in a good spot. If I don't, then I can just die this turn and that's it. Okay, so Death Shadow. My opponent's playing Death Shadow. That's like the only... Whoa. Bug Shadow? Tarmogoyf? Same on library. Okay, that's fine. What to do here? I think here I want to play... I'm going to suspect that my opponent has some kind of Wasteland, Delver-ish style deck. So I'm going to play Thalia here, see what happens. And I'm of course fetching a basic because of that. If Thalia gets countered, whatever, it's fine. Let's see what my opponent chooses to do with Sylvan Library. Library is such a good card. I just love that card. Just so much value. You see, my opponent is like choosing how they want to draw. Yeah, for sure my opponent is playing some kind of the shadow deck. There it is. There it is. That's a rough draw right there. So here I'm gonna play Mom, first of all. See what happens. Mom is really good against this Death Shadow style decks. And then I'm going to Sin it for 0 actually. I wanna, go as wide as I can. And I think that my chance of winning is going to be based on, I just need to get there basically. So I like Thalia slowing them down. And Mom is kind of like my inevitability. Inevitability. That. Mom is that. Because eventually I will be able to like start to choose how much I want to leap back to block, how much I want to attack with. It's quite possible that my opponent is playing Berserk though. If my opponent is playing Berserk, then I don't think I can beat that. There's a Wasteland. Okay. They decide to blow up my black source. That's fine. I take 10. Delver. Okay. Okay. That's a really good draw. 1, 2, 3. So that's a 5-5. Who's also 5-5? These dudes. Do I want to play into the ace though? This plays really hard into the ace. I think I just want to get double mom set up and going. I can chomp this turn. I can double chomp this turn, and Delver is going to take at least 2 turns to kill me. Again, I'm still dead to Berserk, right? But this at least sets up my defenses, so I don't die. What do I do in terms of attacking? I think I do attack. And then when my opponent blocks, I will block with Mom and block with Dry Diver. No, I'm not going to attack. I think it's better to kind of set up and then swing in just in one attack with a Knight on the following turn. Also, my opponent might as well kind of like, you know, force me to, on my own turn, force me to like push or some, you know, by pushing or something. My opponent flips, revealing Brainstorm. Okay. So next turn, I do need to just play the Knight and hope it resolves. If it does, Knight can go get Mace, and that deals with Insectile Aberration. Also, it's so unlucky we didn't draw a single sword. That's pretty unfortunate. Okay. So I'm going to block here, and I'm going to block here. And what I'm going to protect is the Dry Diver, because I want to make sure that I have Knight mana next turn. So I'm kind of forced into this play. It's kind of unfortunate that I need to, you know, let the Thalia die. But of course I can't let the Shadow through for obvious reasons, right? Delver kills me, so... It's unfortunate. Now my opponent can, like, you know, brainstorm into a Fatal Push or something, which kind of sucks. So I go down to 5. My opponent has yet another Death Shadow. Jeez. Gee whiz. Alright. That's block. Yeah. You got the days? Do you have the days, opponent? They have the force. Okay, that's fine. I just lose. Okay, that's pretty unfortunate. Like, usually swords is, of course, the nuts against Death Shadow. I mean, it would literally would have been a 3-for-1 right there had we drawn a swords at any point. Choke is pretty good against them. Decay is pretty good against them. And I think that's it. Gideon Ally is of course good against them, but I don't like running Gideon whenever I'm also actively looking to play Thalia. In the matchups where Thalia is not as good, like against... even against Miracles, you sometimes just like out-tempo them and they just die. So that's... I don't like, you know, Gideon and Thalia at the same time, because, you know, 5 mana is way too much in Legacy. So we're going to do some Light Siren. I think our main deck is actually pretty well suited against what my opponent's doing. They have black-green, so I'm expecting for sure some amount of Golgari Charms from them. That's why I'm going to trim one Mom. And probably I should trim one of these guys. I doubt they would have any amount of... any kind of stuff like... what's his name? Dread of Night or things like that. Maybe they do, I don't know. But they for sure are playing Golgari Charm, and it for sure is coming in against us. Maybe I can take out the Pride Mage. Take out one of the dudes. Take out one Thalia. I definitely like Stoneforge. Definitely like the swords. They do not seem to be running Colovan's command. They didn't have any red mana. Green Sun Zenith is terrible against Ace and Spell Pierce. So maybe that's yeah, I'm gonna take out one of those. Spell Pierce is really not great against us, and Zenith is one of the few cards in the deck that actually makes it decent. Okay, so we're gonna try it again. Mulligan. Mulligan again. Okay, so we're just gonna mull into Oblivion. This is pretty sad. I do think this is actually a really good matchup. I've played against this Shadow like 3 or 4 times, and I beat them every single time. So I do think that the matchup is quite good for us, but you know, it was not in the cards. Going to lead on Wasteland, so if my opponent, you know, plays a Wasteland, doesn't stop my white source. Now I can't really do that anymore, and then we are again not drawing a green source. This is very unfortunate. This is rough. Not going to play anything. Sure, I'll play a Jita. Whatever. My only possible play. My opponent, of course, lets it go because it does literally nothing. This is pretty unlikely. We unlucky. I mean, we were doing so well. We were playing well. We're doing good stuff, and then we're getting wrecked by mulligans and stuff. Now they're gonna push my mom, I would assume. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if they are running. I think they have to be running Stub, right? They have to be running Stubborn Denial. If I get a green source, which I'm not going to apparently, but had I gotten a green source, I would have played the birds there. So Stoneforge resolves, which is whatever. Going to get a sword just because I can. And then pass the turn. Any green source. My opponent doesn't even have wastelands to punish me for having non-basic green sources. How my opponent anglers. Maybe they will angler Shadow. I'm gonna play Mom. I think I can afford to take like whatever. I doubt they can get it past like an 8, and I can take 8, and then next turn try to swords them. But if I can, I want to try to play around Spell Pierce to the best of my abilities. No push for Mom. That's good. Snuff out. This is a sweet card. I like the original art. The one with the dude that's kind of like weird. It's pretty fun. Two-turn clock. Overgrown Tomb. Wow, I can't believe this. This is pretty absurd. We spent 7 turns. But we just did not see a green source. I mean, I'm doing this on upkeep, but chances are that it's going to get Spell Pierce, stopped, and then just forced. Okay, sure. Give my opponent the GG's and die. That kind of sucked. That was... It's way different when you lose like the very last one, you know. When you at least have the chance of a 5-0. But okay. We're 3-1. That's not. It's not the end of the world. We can still salvage a 4-1. That's still pretty good EV. We're gonna get some chesties. We're gonna get some play points. In any case, we already got our money back with play points. So there's that. So we're at least going to have, I guess, a free league, if you want to call it that way. But yeah, when things like that doesn't happen, don't happen, you know. The deck is fun, but it's really frustrating. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Cradle even counts because I can play Mom and play Cradle immediately after and then tap it to add green. So it even Cradle counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 green sources. And we had 8 turns to draw any one of them. I'm not currently Dried Arbor because that's the card that I bottomed because, you know, they would have pushed the Dried Arbor and we would have been in an even worse spot. But yeah, it happens. It happens. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to resolve at least one Knight of the Reliquary this game. Because when that happens, life's pretty great. Sometimes the legacy queues take a while. The other day I was in the 1v1 commander queue for like literally over 30 minutes. It was out of control. Okay. So this we want to play a grindy game with this hand, and we're gonna get that because we're playing against Miracles most likely. I mean, I guess it could potentially be Storm, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this is Miracles. Since Miracle lists usually run main deck back to basics, which destroys us so hard, I'm going to go get a basic first. Just make sure that, you know, I'm able to untap my lands, you know. So they brainstorm. If this happens to be Storm again, we have turn 2 Teague, so that could be sweet. In fact, I think, unless my opponent plays a Plains right now, I think I'm going to go for turn 2 Teague. I think like the upside is way too high. Delta still doesn't say anything. Okay, that confirms that it's Storm. So I guess they have Thoughtseize here. Duress. Yep, I guess that naps it too. That's unfortunate. That would have been nice though. Just like twice turn to win against Storm because we just play a Teague and they can't deal with it. That's funny. I think I want to play Scrib Ranger here. What I'm thinking is whether Scrib Ranger plus Mom and whether the 1 damage is worth the 1 land behind that I'm gonna be. And also now my opponent knows that there's no... I think I want to give me the most amount of mana so next turn I can actually, you know, kind of try to cantrip into a second Crimson Zenith, into a Thalia, or into, you know, natural Gaddock Teague, I guess. Alright, am I dead? Yes, I'm dead. This seems to be a Blasting Flame skill. I think they do have enough stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they have enough. Okay. I guess maybe they go for empty. No, they went for all black mana. They're just looking for tendrils. And nope. Oh well, they have extra duress, but yeah, okay, whatever. They for sure got tendrils and were going to kill me. Okay, so against Storm again, we of course like this guy. We like this, guys. We like this. We don't like Excavator. We don't like Library. We don't like Stoneforge. Don't like Jite. Oh, we don't like the swords. And what's the other card that I cut last time? Oh, the mace. Mace of it. Yeah, that's it. I guess I could bring in Fairy Macabre. Macabre stops the Passing Flame skill, I guess. Maybe? And of course it's a 2/2 flyer. Maybe it's better than the sword. Okay. Let's get that 4/1, shall we? Let's get that 4/1. So this is turn 2 night with some wastelands for land disruption. I guess I keep this. I think I want some amount of interaction though. I'm gonna mulligan. This is better. Not by a ton, but better. I mean, we really need, again, a green source. So we're keeping this for sure. Yes, okay, so that's good. Okay, now our hand is good. So, Thoughtseize you. See what my opponent has over there. Double Cabal Ritual, Chrome Mox, Star Petition. Okay, so they have a ton of mana, but I'll take their payoff. Okay, if my opponent doesn't draw a payoff card this turn, we can be in okay shape. Get Thalia in play. Now let's see what's up. Huh. My opponent doesn't draw a land. We are in pretty good spot. Okay, so they play the Chrome Mox. What do they imprint? Probably a Dark or Cavalrit. Probably Cavalrit, yep. So one Cavalrit less. They do play the Lotus Petal. And this turn, I think I want to Thoughtseize them this turn. I think I want to Thoughtseize them this turn. See what they got over there. Yep. So that's 2. So they have 3. And these are like mana neutral. I'm taking the Adnos anyway. Is their only payoff card there? So my opponent does not have that much mana. Mostly because the Cabal Ritual is not... Okay, this is pretty good. Now they are kind of forced to draw Dread of Night. And I'm kind of not using this because hopefully I get to the point where I can actually get 1 extra mana and go get Teague. Okay. If I untap with this, then my opponent needs to get Dread of Night or Bust. That's like the only card that saves him. Because this Mom protects the Talia and they just can never go off, basically. So many Cabal Rituals. They kept 2 cards on top, so that... Yep, okay. So that's pretty good. So attack with Thalia. And the good thing about getting Teague is that Teague being a 2/2 is actually extremely relevant here. Another thing I could do is I could go get Kasali Pride Mage and just kill their... Gonna get a Savannah here. And just kill their... It's basically like wastelanding them. But I think there's way more value in just getting Teague on board. And actually start attacking for 4 instead of just 2. Gadok, Teague. The bad thing about Teague though is that they can, you know, freely use their things. They can freely, you know, cantrip into more things. Thalia at least, you know, taxes them, so it makes it harder for them to actually find the stuff that they're looking for. So my opponent trying to figure out whether they have a kill or not. Man, resolving Brainstorm is so hard. Resolving Brainstorm is so hard. Alright, here... Sure, I'll play the Dryad over. I guess that actually speeds up the clock, oddly enough. So now I have a 2-turn clock after this. My opponent is... It's kind of in a hurry. They need to deal with both the Talia and the Teague, otherwise they just cannot win. The fact that they are not shuffling means that their hand is pretty sweet though, which kind of sucks for us, obviously. I guess Dread of Night plus push would do it here. My opponent is also pretty close to threshold. It would be nice if I drew like a noose or surgical to kind of mess up that math. But yep, this is that awkward time where we are, you know, kind of like hoping that my opponent doesn't have it, that we are disturbing them enough, we're disrupting them enough so that they don't actually have, you know, the stuff they need to beat us. But it's quite possible that they do, honestly. One time I lost to Storm while having these two guys plus Ethersworn Canonist. I was very impressed when that happened. I was very, very impressed when that happened. Okay, so I'm going to attack. Hopefully my opponent like pushes Thalia here. If my opponent pushes Thalia here, I'm just gonna let it resolve, and then just play a second Thalia, and have, you know, Mom protection for the next turn. Okay, so this is it. My opponent needs to win here. Chain of Vapor on the Teague first. Okay. That is fine, I think. Actually, I'm going to sacrifice a land and bounce their Chromox. With Thalia, Chromox actually costs mana, and it costs them a card if they don't want to be screwed. So I'm actually going to do this. Or maybe that's what my opponent needed to do. They need to force me to make a mistake so they can copy again now. But if they copy again now, they are forced to like sack a land. And now I am going to give Thalia protection. I don't think Tig is more important. I mean, Tig prevents them from winning, but I know their hand, and they have like. Yes, they can, but the thing is, I don't know. I don't know whether they can. Yes, that's the thing. Like Thalia forces them to win with the 5 cards they have in hand. You see what I'm saying? While Tig gives them all the time they need in order to, you know, tutor for a push or tutor for something else, or even potentially like test lists play Grape Shot in order to play oh yeah. I was not playing around Massacre. Yeah. Massacre is rough. Massacre is real rough. Okay, so they sack a land, and now they're gonna try to bounce the Thalia, and I am going to protect the Thalia now. Alright, I mean, Massacre wrecks me. Oh no, it doesn't wreck me anyway. Yep. Yeah, maybe I fucked up this game. Maybe I didn't play it correctly. Yeah, maybe there was... maybe I was supposed to just mess with the... just keep the Tig in play. But this way I am forcing them to, first of all, have a land. Okay? Oh no, I'm not forcing them to have a land. They can just sack this. The Chrome Mox costs... yeah. Okay. Okay. So I might actually be dead here. Yep. Yeah. No, I think you're right, Neelid. I think you're right, yes. Maybe I should have... I mean, they had an answer for the Tig anyway, right? But that doesn't mean that... that doesn't stop the fact that I should have done, you know, the correct play, which was to... Are they going to tutor chain? Yeah. Yeah, they just tutor chain and kill me. Wow, they are going to kill me exactly. If I had 2 more... If they had like 1 less storm, I was going to win. Alright, yep. Yeah, you guys are correct. Maybe what I should have done is just protect... No, I think protecting the Thalia is probably good there, right? Because I know their hand is like a bunch of mana, right? Yeah, no, my mistake was exactly that. I should have not redirected the Chain of Vapor. That was my mistake, and I think that's what my opponent was playing towards. I think my opponent was playing towards me making a mistake and actually redirecting that. The way I thought of it, it made sense, right? Because I want to try to get them shorter in cards. Okay? Under my assumption, basically Chrome Mox gives them 1 storm, but they cost them 1 mana and 1 card in hand. Okay? While also forcing them to sack a land, giving them less lands to go off with, right? Giving them less lands to get started. So I am forcing them to like start the turn with 1 less land and 1 less Chrome Mox. So the Chrome Mox, in terms of giving them storm, it's the same. Because if I hadn't bounced the Chrome Mox to give, you know, and give them storm, they would have had 1 extra mana, so they could have gotten another Infernal Tutor and still kill me anyway. So in that sense, it's the same. What was wrong though was the fact that I let my opponent resolve. They basically got 3 spells for the price of 2. Okay, if I had protected my Tig to begin with, If I had protected my Tig to begin with, then my opponent only has one push, and with that push, he needs to choose whether he kills the Thalia or he kills the Tig. And whichever one they kill, I think they cannot win that turn. So that was my mistake. The mistake was redirecting because it doesn't tax them and because it's just the same amount of spells. So that's the reason why. So that was my mistake. It was definitely a mistake, but the mistake was redirecting because of that reason. I did not think things through. So with 3 and 2, we got our money back and we got a pity chest. But the list seemed fun. Game 2 was the other game we lost. That game was our fault. Okay, that match I lost. That match, it was my mistake, and I should have probably won that game, that last game. The one against Death Shadow, it was just painful though. I was really hoping that I could finally find the stupid green source, and we never saw it after 8 draw steps. Exactly. That's what I was saying, Nilid. The fact that I turned Chain of Vapor into an extra removal spell for me. That was my mistake. But anyway, that's how we learn, and that's why I always like, after we play a match, whether I lose or I win, I want to kind of analyze the reasons why what happened. And to be fair, my opponent played perfectly. Okay, to be fair, my opponent played perfectly. My opponent needed me to made a mistake. He baited me into that mistake, and I took the bait. I took the bait, and it was 100% my fault. Okay, it was 100% my fault, and I deserved to lose that game. So those are the games that are good to lose, to put it somehow. Or that I don't care losing, because it was my fault, and it's cool that I at least get to learn something from it. But yeah, okay. So give Probo to Tig and not redirect. You make them have to have 3 kills plus. Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to explain. I'm forcing them to need three ways to remove my stupid dorks. And yes, it's way harder for them. It just forces one card out of their hand, and of course, it's way. It would have been guaranteed the better play. Yes, my opponent gave me a chance to make the mistake, and I made the mistake. So kudos to them. They played that really well. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for me today. It was fun. I always enjoy playing Maverick. I think the deck is a ton of fun, and somehow it gets there's a big delay. I think I'm watching here the preview, and it's like a 15-second delay or something like that. So yes, it's a pretty big delay. But honestly, it's like my computer doesn't have, it's not the best computer in the world. It's pretty bad actually. It's a laptop that I'm pretty happy that I just I'm not lagging constantly, because for whatever reason when I tried to stream like a year or so ago, the computer was lagging a ton. Now it's not lagging as much, and it already makes at least for a somewhat viewable experience. But yeah, it's still it can still be limiting. Like I would like to have music playing, so it's not just me talking. But unfortunately, I just tried it earlier today, and it definitely did not work. Everything started lagging. It was terrible. So anyway, well, it's kind of hilarious that we randomly have the exact same amount of chests and event tickets. So that's gonna be it for me today. I might stream like a very short stream tomorrow, because I have a student around noon that I need to go to. So I might stream like probably for like 2 hours at most, early in the morning. and if you guys want to check it out, then I'll see you guys there. But yes, for sure, you know, if you like the content, make sure that you follow the stream. And you know, here I play mostly legacy and modern. That's going to be the two formats that I will be playing the most. But for example, a friend of mine wants to donate to, you know, for me to play an M19, so an M19 draft. So we're going to probably do that maybe tomorrow, maybe on Thursday. But yeah, this is going to be mostly legacy and modern. In legacy, my two favorite decks are Four-Color Loam and Maverick. So I will be playing mostly some of those, but we can probably play some lands, we can play some death and taxes, although I don't have bright lands because they are like stupid expensive right now, so I'm waiting until they go a little bit lower in price. And in modern I play mostly Amulet, because Amulet is the best deck in the world. But you know, we have other options. I do enjoy playing Night of the Reliquary in modern as well, so we can play some Nightfall, we can play some Value Town, we can play some Druids. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so thank you all guys for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.